Hello everybody, Iain Robson here, and welcome to another edition of the Newbie Farm. Alright, as you can see, the field has been planted and ready to go. As you can see, we also have our PK down, so let's go ahead and progress time and see what happens. So, I'm going to progress time 1 day forward. And, too bad I don't have any canola, that would have been awesome. So what should happen here is we should see, it's a rainy day today, so the moisture level should go up, theoretically, of course. So if you look in the top right hand corner up there, it shows that it's a rainy day. So there we go. So 14%, so soil moisture is actually low, which is kind of interesting, but it should go up based on the weather. However, that's calculated at noon, not at this particular time. So as you can see, the N, the nutrient, is down, so nitrogen, I guess that's supposed to be, and PK is up x2, so it should be x4 everywhere now, or higher, but our moisture level is low. So let's see. So it is a rainy day today, so it should, theoretically, it should increase the moisture level. We'll see. Because the moisture level isn't calculated until noon. So what we'll do is, once this finishes calculating everything here, what we'll do is we'll progress time just till noon to see what happens. So there we go. Now it's raining. This is good. Oh, it's done. Oh, okay, that's not exciting. It is supposed to do something at noon, but we'll see. Okay, so let's hop into our this guy right here. Let's put this guy in group 5, which is my normal truck group, and let's go see what we can see with our cherry trees, because our cherry trees should have, so shift R, let's see if it actually does that now. So that should make it so it doesn't turn backwards. Oh, there we go, perfect. But it still turns. Okay, cool. Alright, so let's go check on our cherry trees, because we should have cherries now. This is the reason why we did this, of course, is because this is supposedly going to allow us to kind of have a little bit of money in between. So let's see. I don't know how much this actually carries. So as you can see, our cherry trees have cherries on them, which is pretty cool, actually. Let's just hop out and take a look there. Nice. All of them seem to be, are they filled 100%? 94%. Okay, that's not so bad. So let's drive up to our cherry trees and collect our cherries. Now, someone was asking a while ago, could you do this with courseplay? The answer is yes. And let me just show you how you could do that technically. So if I start right here, let's just call this the starting of the course. Actually, it's back up a little bit further. Back up, not forward, Iain, back up. So if I do this and then go forward, and what you could do is put a waiting point at each of the trees, like that. Should work, technically. So that's 425, so they only have 425 each. This holds 11,000, mind you, so there's a waiting point there. Now, if you look at the waiting time, you can actually change it to whatever you want. So put a waiting point there. Now I'm not sure how this is going to work because I've never tried this before, but apparently it collects the cherries extremely quickly. There we go. Alright, so I'm just going to turn around here. Now what's going to happen now, I'm just going to drive and sell these right away, just because we have the capability of doing so. I don't know how much we're actually going to get for these. We'll see. We shall see. Alright, so let's drive to our sell point, which is way down here. The nice thing about our vehicle right now, of course, is the fact that it is a fairly quick vehicle, so this should allow us to get there relatively quickly. And it sticks to the ground. This thing is like, out of all the vehicles I've ever driven, this is probably one of the ones that sticks to the ground the best. It's really ridiculous how well this actually performs. It's pretty crazy. Oh, I want to go right. Of course. Pause. Let me just back up here and make this turn properly. This is what happens when you look at the map while you're not paying attention. Alright, there we go. let's unpause. Perfect. Now let's make this turn. There we go. So because this is the way we want to go. Alright. So let's go see how much money we get for this. So we have 2,125 liters, which is not bad. Not amazing, not bad. We're just going to drive by the gas station just in case we need gas at any particular point in time. There we go. Now, we're looking for the shop, so we need to go this way. And if you recall where we put the sell point for our cherries, it's actually behind this guy right here. And it is right there. So as you can see, there's the sell point. So here we are. I'm just going to put a wait point here just in case. And let's see how much money we make. So we have 15.9 now. Let's see what happens. Whoa! So we went from 15.9 to 18.7. Wow, that's quite a bit actually. A lot more than I suspected. So, had we used, I guess we'll go past this as well, just in case we need more fuel. So that's actually quite a bit of money. Wow, jeez. That's like almost $2,000. So that's not too bad. That's going to give us a nice little shot of income every single day. So that'll help. That will help mitigate our maintenance costs per day. So that's good. So we can actually, as we increase the number of trees, we can actually hopefully get to a point where we have a lot of trees, one would hope, and then that will hopefully be able to not only mitigate but also go above and beyond what we need for maintenance alone. So I'm not sure how this is going to work, but worst comes to worst, I could set this up as a transfer course. I just need to set up the appropriate wait time. But having the ability to drive this quickly around the area makes a really big difference. Alright, there we go. So let's come up here, drive around here, go back into our pasture, back to the starting point, which is right in front of us. So let's call this, I don't know, sell cherries. Sure. Okay, now if I set this up as a transfer, what should happen technically is it should go and put the lights on apparently. It should go and stop at each of the wait points if I set it up so it stops. Let's set this up so it's 10 seconds. So what should happen is it'll stop at each tree for 10 seconds. And then that should technically collect all of the cherries that are in the tree. So in this case, there are no cherries because we just did it. But that's the way you could set up a course for course play. That's one way of doing it at least. Anyways, we don't need to drive the whole course, but that's just as an example of how that would work. Perfect. So let's turn this guy off. We don't want it running. Turn the lights off. Excellent. Good. Alright, so let's go back down to our field and take a look at. I think we need to spray some moisture into our field despite the fact that it's raining right now. Because we don't want to lose the yield. Because our moisture, where's our moisture at? Where is it here? Our moisture's at like 24%. So we're probably, we're still getting probably like 80% at this level of moisture. This is interesting. Let's see what happens. So we could progress time one day, we could spread NPK, or we could put some moisture in our field. What to do? I'm just curious. What's going to happen if we progress time one more day? Let's go ahead one more day and just see what happens. I am kind of curious to see how the moisture is going to change. No change yet. So what we'll do is, now this guy can actually drive the course. Let's just see if this works the way we want it to. The only problem is going to be the actual selling point, actually. Because it's just going to wait there, and if you don't catch that waiting point, I don't know if this is going to work. It might. Well, let's just try. Let's see what happens, because the way the drive that particular course works is it's going to stop at the very first point. It should. No, maybe it won't. Interesting. So let's see what happens. It's going to stop here. Oh, did it get all the cherries in the first tree? Oh, I guess it did. Wow. Well, maybe this will work. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Alright, so let's go check our moisture levels. Soil mod's done its thing for the time being. So it should be done whatever it needs to do. So let's see what happens here. So this should be growth stage number 2 out of 4. Alright, so let's check our levels. What do they look like? Oh, we got a weed problem. Yes, just a weed problem right there, though. It's not too bad everywhere else. Our moisture, soil moisture is 0, though, and that is very bad. Alright, so it looks like we do need to spread some. So let's go ahead and rent this for just an hour. We don't need it for longer than that. Let's do that. And let's go ahead and reset it, because the other good thing about this is when you spread fertilizer or herbicide, I believe it adds moisture as well. I can't remember now. It should do, because basically it's any, if memory serves, it's any type of moisture. So if I spread slurry, there's moisture in slurry technically, so it would actually add moisture in that scenario as well. So we only need 1,000 liters, because if you remember from last time, that's all we needed, and we were able to do the whole field basically. So, all right, so our courseplay guy has gone. He's traveling to the location to sell, so we're going to see if he actually sells. All right, so we only needed 1,000, remember? So let's keep that in mind. 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. There we go. It's probably enough. 99999. Sure. And we need water in this context. Actually, no. What did we plant? We planted soybeans, so we can use herbicide A or herbicide B. So let's use herbicide A, but we'll use a double batch. Basically, that means it's going to do preventative measures as well as just straight up. So if you notice our money right now, it's at 15.1, so we're going to keep an eye on that. So when we actually see that go up, it means he's sold something. Alright, so let's come over here. And oh, there's a weeds over there too, so this should add moisture, and it should also add herbicide. So let's do this and this. I can't see because I have this up for whatever reason. And there we go. Well, it's perfect. Wow. 15.5 or 15.5, 15.1. So he's coming around here. Let's see if he actually does what he's supposed to do. So he's coming up to the tipping point. Is he going to sell it? 15.1. Looks like he's not going to sell it because that's a waiting point. Ah well. There we go. Give us a little bit of extra money. Drive to the nearest waypoint, or current waypoint, or nearest waypoint. There you go. Alright, let's do this. So, this should technically add moisture as well. Technically. Let's just verify that real quick. So we have 0% moisture here, and if I go back around these, I should have some moisture here. Nope, apparently not. Okay, we'll see. You can always go back and spray moisture as well, just to ensure that we do have enough moisture. Should be kind of interesting, actually. This is one of those weird things. This is where it's kind of like they added the moisture thing, but it seems like the moisture really decreases quite quickly, depending on the weather. Just the way it seems, at least, though. So that course I created for the cherries I think I'd probably have to re-record the course and just set it up differently, so so that instead of putting a waiting point at the sell point, I'll just set it up so it just drives past it, and it should work fine then, technically. And there he is coming back now. And technically we have enough money. We probably could actually put some more trees down, more cherry trees, because that seems to be pretty profitable at this particular time. It's a good way to get started at the very least. So as you can see, there's some weeds starting up over there and there and there. So by spraying this herbicide, we'll be able to hopefully prevent weeds from happening. So what will happen is these weeds, if I don't deal with them, what will happen is I'll have an infestation of weeds, and then they will actually take out. Oh, I don't own the field. Yes, I know that. What will happen is they'll actually take out the nutrients like they would in real life, basically. So I need to be aware of that. So technically, it looks like I'm not going to use all of this spray. We'll see what happens. If we do, that's fine. If we don't, that's fine as well. So, but definitely, it looks like those cherry trees were a good investment. So we may invest in some more of those, so that in the future we can hopefully buy the nether field and then join these two fields together. Hopefully. Also, what we'd like to do eventually is get around to getting some animals, because that would be very beneficial, because animals give us manure and slurry, and manure and slurry is amazing because with the soil mod you cannot find any better. It's free to use. Well, it's free, relatively speaking, and it's fantastic in terms of how much it gives you. I don't know. It's interesting because I'm just looking at the levels, because what happens is if you spray slurry or manure, it actually gives you an enormous boost to your N. I think it's in PK, N and PK, or N specifically nitrogen. But I'm just looking at the levels here, and if you go over X5, you actually have for nitrogen levels. If you go over X5, you actually start decreasing your yield, which is interesting, I thought, at least. So it's really about managing, like, you know, one year you take a hit maybe, and the other year you don't take a hit. So alright, so this is the last little bit here. Perfect. So as we get past here, let's turn around and let's get that last little bit we missed at the other end there. Or these little bits right here. Oops, totally just hit the... Let's get this, because I also want to use the rest of this because we rented this as well. It's not actually ours. Okay, good. And perfect. So let's do a quick little test here, because this is what I was thinking about before, and while that's folding up, let's stop this. So that's one way of, so you can actually do that way to sell, pick up all the cherries from the trees. You can do that. Having said that, let's go ahead and pick up a couple more cherry trees, because those seem to be working really well for us at this particular time. We could technically add other types of trees as well. I don't know what the respective prices are. I don't think it actually says in the selling point. No, it just says you can sell them. It doesn't say how much you can sell them for, though. So you can sell pure water there, it looks like, as well, or just water. I'm not sure. So should we add? So I'll ask you what I'll do is I'll ask you guys. What do you guys think we should do? Do you think we should add some more cherry trees, or turn this guy off, or do you think we should? Do you think we should add some different types of trees? Let me know. Let me know what you guys think. So what we're going to do is, I'm just going to test this because I'm curious, because I'm wondering if I can just fill this up with water from an actual water spot, because that's one of the fill types. I don't think you will be able to, but just an interesting thought. So here's the water right here. So I'm hitting refill. So no. So you actually, that's a bit unfortunate actually, because there is actually a, oh, maybe there isn't there. Oh, I thought there was a trigger point there. Okay, let's try this then. I don't know where. I thought that was the water refill point, but maybe it's not. I don't think there's any other one around here that I can think of. Nope, that's just a log. That's a log. That's a bit strange. I totally thought that was a water refill point. It used to be, at least. Maybe it is still, and it probably still is. Just doesn't recognize this. Anyways, so what we'll do is we'll leave it there for now, folks. If you think we should get some more cherry trees, let me know in the comments below. Until then, my name's Iain Robson. This has been the Newbie Farm, and I'll catch you guys later.